Welcome to Fails on the Trails. On this podcast, runners share their stories behind their DNF, did not finish, or DFL, dead freaking last, experiences. Our goal? To help you learn from what went wrong in a previous race so that everything can go right in your next race. I'm Justin Smith, proud owner of 13 DNFs, and I'm joined by
Lisa Decker, and I have 17 DNFs.
And I'm Nicole, and I have 5 DNFs.
And together we are your DNF experts. So lace up your running shoes and come along for the ride as we unpack the stories, mistakes, and lessons learned from the fails on the trails.
All right, welcome to this newest episode of Fails on the Trails. We are finally getting back to some more fails. This week we have Paige Mack on. She is one of my trauma bonded trash pandas. And if you ever need like a little bit of arm twisting to go do a journey race or a Yeti Trails race or anything in Georgia, this is your girl that'll convince you to pretty much run anything. By the way, I'm still thinking of Labor Day weekend. I think I might be able to make it work, so we'll talk. But anyways, welcome and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. I have definitely DNF'd. That's why I'm here.
We're the DNF experts, so yes, welcome.
Running probably about 22 years ago. I started into trail and ultra probably about 6 or 7 years ago. And as you know, that progresses pretty quickly.
It's a gateway
because then
drug.
You're like, oh, what else can I do? What else can I do? And then you really hit that level where everyone's like, you're an idiot. So I'm there.
Yes. Welcome to the club.
Thanks.
Were you doing marathons before you jumped over, or what was your road distance of choice?
Yeah, I did marathons. For a long time, I was like, well, it's impossible. No one could do more than one marathon a year. And then I found that was wrong. And yeah, stupidity ensues.
Yeah. So, you work at a running store. How long have you been working there, or did you do that before or after you got into running?
I used to shop there years ago I started shopping there years ago. And I got laid off from my big girl job in the pandemic. And when things calmed down, I was like, I don't want to go back to an office and a desk and be sad. So I just applied there, and it's been amazing. It's the best.
Love that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I bet you get good discounts.
I sure do.
Bye.
It's good, but you also get to meet a lot of people and encourage a lot of people. So the energy in there is good.
So, you want to give us some shameless plug or anything for it? If you're ever in Georgia?
Big Peach Running Company in Alpharetta, Georgia. I mean,
Great.
there are quite a few locations. I think we have 13 now, but Alpharetta is the best.
Noted. I'll write that one down.
We have a store in Tulsa, Oklahoma that does an urban adventure where it's a 20-mile loop around the city of Tulsa, and they use this gas station called Quick Trip as the aid stations because you just get a Quick Trip gift card, and then you will go to that running store as the timing and start finish of every loop.
That's cool.
Is there anything you guys can maybe do like that, or did I maybe plant a seed for something?
I would love to do that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, no, our store doesn't do any races out of our store. Big Peach as a whole does one called the Sizzler that's on Labor Day. But
Nice.
We help promote a lot of them.
Awesome.
Now, whenever you jumped over to trails, how long was it before you got to the triple-digit 100-mile distance?
2 years. In my head, 50K was this giant thing. And when I finished my first one, I was like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Yeah, I actually had a lot of fun there. And when I hit the marathon distance, I looked at my watch, I was like, this is faster than some of my marathons.
Heck yeah.
So I felt pretty good. I trained like it was the biggest race I had ever done because I was terrified of it.
What was your first 100-miler?
The Country Mile. It's in South Carolina. Upstate Ultra does it. And interestingly enough, I found out after the fact that one of the other trash pandas did his first 100-miler the same day as I did. We didn't see each other, or we didn't know each other, but we
saw
were
each
both
other
there
over
together.
and over and over again on that loop. But
Yep.
small
So
world.
is that a 1-mile loop?
4.
It's a 4-mile. Yeah.
Okay. The name is deceiving. I was like, wow, 1 mile, because my first 100-miler was a 1-mile loop. So yeah, 4
Oh.
miles is still, that's still short
Yeah.
though. But
Yeah,
think-
it's a cool race. It's a dirt road around a farm. So at night you can see all the lights because there's nothing tall in between them.
Yes.
Pretty.
And I'm signed up again for next year. Justin, Nicole, if you want to go.
you talking country mile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
What's the date?
April something.
It's the first weekend of April.
First weekend of April.
Mhm.
Starts on a Friday.
Check it out.
Okay.
Twisted
Getting
my
more
arm pretty
people,
hard.
Paige. Getting more people.
Yes. It's a fun race.
It is fun. This is great community, great vibes. Just 48 hours to do whatever and
Yep.
have a good time. Looking forward to doing it again.
For anyone out there listening who has not done a 100-miler yet, doing a small loop 100-miler seems monotonous and stupid. But I find that when you do smaller loop races, you can access a flow state and not have to think about what your next direction is, what your next turn is, because it's a loop that you've done over and over. And you're gonna have more time out there with people because it's a smaller loop, because then usually in a 100-miler you find your pace and there's no one around you, and then the people make the miles go by faster, and before you know it, you're so close to your 100 miles. So definitely recommend a 1 mile or 4 mile, 5 mile loop for a first 100-miler.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I haven't tried that short of a loop yet because I'm worried that I'm gonna get so bored and I'm gonna be counting every lap. I'm like, oh, I'm only at 50 loops. I still got 50 more loops to do. That sounds like a lot, but maybe it's just my mind games.
The whole thing is a mind game, pretty much. Just convincing yourself to keep going, right?
Paige, are there any other 100-milers that you did that were noteworthy leading up to what we're going to talk about today?
I've done that one 4 times actually. I love it. It's such a good race. And then I've done journey runs that are longer. I think that's all.
You guys with your journey runs. All right. So what race are we going to be talking about today?
Oh, Cruel Jewel.
Right.
Yep.
Ooh, give us the elevator speech overview on Cruel Jewel.
It's a Western States qualifier. People come from all over the world to do it because of that. So it's a pretty elite race. For the 100, there's a 100-miler and a 50-miler. I was doing the 50-miler, which is actually 58 miles with 17,000 feet of climbing.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How much is in the 100? Is it 40 or is it
It
30?
should be twice that because it's an out and back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 34, 35. Oh, that's disgusting.
It's horrible.
It does sound horrible.
It is. Yeah.
Are we talking about really tight technical single track, or is there anything runnable? What's the terrain
There
look like out
is
there?
some runnable. For the 50, the hardest part is on the front side. So for the 100, the hardest part is their middle miles.
And how far
yeah.
apart are the aid stations about? Are there a
There
lot
are
of them? Or
10 aid stations for the 50-miler.
That's nice.
I feel that's
About
pretty generous.
About every 5 miles, you had an aid station.
Yeah, depending on what the terrain is, but they're not terribly far. I would say most of them are 5 to 7 miles apart.
Okay. It's not bad.
But it is in May in Georgia, so it's pretty hot also.
Gross.
Yeah.
Could be worse, though. Could be worse.
It sure could. I don't want to experience it.
No. Gonna look at the bright side.
Right.
So I feel this race is probably outside of what you have been doing leading up to it, is what it sounds like if you're doing like the country mile and stuff like that, which is like a dirt road. And so what intrigued you about it? Was there a bad influence or some kind of social media or YouTube video? What got you into it?
Well, I had done like 100Ks on more elevation and more technical trails. So it wasn't like coming straight off a dirt road to
Okay,
mountains.
good.
Yeah. But one of my friends is the race director, and she's just a really awesome person. And I was like, I'm going to do her race. I don't think I really understood what her race was, but she did a really cool thing at the start. She's a Trail Sisters certified race. So she really is working to get more women to the start line and the finish line. But when she started the race, she started, talking about how proud she was of how many women were there. And it was really cool and emotional. And I was just like all fired up because of her speech.
That
Yeah,
definitely
it was
is a
awesome.
way to get you fired up. I've had a couple of, I think during Ball State, I had someone that said that I was an inspiration to women everywhere for doing what I was doing and showing up and doing the hard stuff that we do that a lot of women probably wouldn't is very empowering, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. If you ever get to do a Sarah Snyder race, she does dumbass events out of Dahlonega, Georgia. Fantastic race director.
Dumbass events, it's right up my alley. So,
Yep.
That helps. Before we dive into it a little further, do you for the listeners, what exactly is Trail Sisters? If no one's ever heard of that before.
So Trail Sisters certifies races that are women friendly, which means they have, bathrooms and sanitary products at aid stations. They make it so the playing field is a little more level.
Interesting. And for me, I'm like, that should be the standard almost. Like, I'm surprised when I hear that people talk about races that don't have those things or don't, so that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're at the starting line, 50 miles, Cruel Jewel. Was it like Congo line out there? Did you have some room to spread out? How long was it before you got spread out, and how was everything going at the beginning?
Congo line, the first part, because it started with a very steep climb, but leveled out pretty quickly. And you kind of found your pack pretty quickly because the fast people were just gone before I was even up to the flattening out. It wasn't flat. But yeah, I, found some people around me and we were chatting and encouraging, and it was good. It went back out onto a road for a while, which was kind of surprising. I did not know we would be on a road, and it was a mountain road. It was unexpected.
Was it open to vehicles also?
No, it was closed to vehicles.
Okay.
Yeah. But then we went to the Coosa Backcountry Trail, which is hard.
What makes it hard?
Well, the first part was actually lovely, very runnable, really pretty. And then you hit, I guess it was the first aid station actually. And you just
Straight up.
You just shot right up.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Did you use trekking poles at this race?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think every person probably had them and needed them.
Noted. If I do this race.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
The power of the poles.
Yeah.
When I started running, I was like, I don't need no trekking poles. I can, and I'm like, I need my poles. Where's my poles? Does anyone see my poles? Even for like flat stuff, it just takes so much of the load off of your legs, just being able to use them. And then definitely an extra point of contact, especially when it rains.
Or especially if you're me, who's a tripping hazard.
I still don't have any yet.
Get some, Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll get some. We'll need some eventually.
Yeah, my poles actually come into this story.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Later.
What was the steep part? Was it just like gravel or dirt, or was it scrambled over?
It's pretty technical. Roots, rocks, yuck. Yeah. And it had rain, so there was some mud as well.
Big trifecta right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are these trails heavily traveled, or was it kind of one of those trails where you really had to pay attention to the signs and markings because it wasn't well defined?
No, it was very well marked, and the trails themselves are very defined.
That's good.
It probably would have been a good idea for me to train on them. Yeah.
Details.
I was like, I've run mountains. But what I didn't know is this trail, especially the part where I started, doesn't do switchbacks. So it really is just straight up a mountain.
Of course, they have to make it harder for this race instead of using the easier way. Yep.
So at what point did you start to find some adversity and really be like, what the hell did I get myself into?
Pretty early.
After that first aid station?
Yeah. The first thing that really kind of went wrong was I started having a cramp that kind of started in my inner thigh and then radiated all the way around, which I have never had before or after, but it happened multiple times that day. And the first time I was so surprised by it, I actually like screamed out loud, and a guy that was behind me like rushed up and he was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, yep. It's just a cramp." So he was like, "Maybe have some salt," which I needed. I was like, "Fine now." I was not. It just kept doing it. It was bizarre.
Do you think it could have been more from the climbing than as an electrolyte issue?
It certainly may have been. Yes.
Like, I haven't
But it was
used that
very
muscle
painful.
before.
Yeah. I have never had a pain there. It was crazy. Yeah.
Interesting.
At that point, that's when you start thinking, if this is an actual injury, how am I going to get off of this mountain? Because especially if you've never felt it before.
I knew it was not an injury because it wasn't constant. Yeah, I could feel like the cramping happen.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just, I was like, well, I'm just going to deal with it. And I did. And then just things kept going on.
What was the next domino?
The next thing was getting to aid stations and just not being able to put anything in my mouth. It was really warm and I was feeling sick to my stomach and I couldn't get anything in me. And then I started throwing up just liquids, but then I was just dry heaving, every few minutes.
Had this happened at a previous race before? Or?
No.
Why this one? That's so rude.
I mean, I really don't know. I feel like I was just like doomed, like cursed in this race. It was not good.
Could you even take down Coke at that point? Or did you try?
I had ginger ale at one point to try to calm my stomach. And I was actually at an aid station having ginger ale, and I have a friend that was sweeping, and I saw her come into the aid station. I was like, shit. So I just like chugged the ginger ale and took off. And luckily it was a downhill out of there, so I was able to gain on her. And I never saw her again.
All right, so at that point where was like you saw the pacer come in, were you like close to the aid station cutoff? Do you know of?
I was probably close, but had time. Okay. I know that she stayed there for a while.
Okay, so you weren't like, oh shit, I gotta go like right now. Like,
yeah, but I did not want to see her face.
Yes.
Because I knew her job.
Like, yeah. I don't want to hang out with her. I'm going to get as far away as I can. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you, were you starting to feel a little better after being able to take the ginger ale, or did you like?
No, I threw it
to the
up.
Next aid station.
No, it came right back up.
Jeez.
Yeah. Nothing would stay. It was just dry heaves. Constantly.
Have you had this problem since then? Or is it really just this one?
It was literally just this race.
This race was cursed from the beginning.
It was.
Do you think that like caused you to like start bonking earlier, or like caused the next?
Yes, I felt terrible. I just felt terrible, emotionally and physically.
So how much further did you get after all the vomiting?
It never really stopped. I I think I probably went 20 more miles on that. I honestly don't remember what mile I came out at, but I got to almost to the top of a mountain, and it was a very like skinny piece of trail, and then there was like a piece of slick flat rock at the top. And it was the whole trail. You couldn't really go around it because it was a drop off in like trees. So I went up it, and I had Lecky poles on with the gloves, and I slipped on the rock, and my hands kind of went out to the sides with the poles on them, and I landed on my hip, like the whole side of my hip down my thigh, and scraped that up and bruised it. But my poles were out to the side, and I couldn't put my hands down because I was attached to them. And I was kind of doing like a dead bug thing.
My
I
God.
couldn't get up. So I had to crawl up the rock until the trail got a little wider so I could get up.
Jesus. So now you're
was-
literally crawling up the hill.
I was
Crawling up the
literally
trail.
crawling. Yes. And that was such a low.
At that point,
I would
you
assume.
think that you were just like, I'm done, like no more.
Well, I knew at that point that I was probably not going to make the next cutoff.
How far
Because
did
of
you
it.
have to the next aid station from there?
Not far, but a mountain. So I remember making it up that mountain and literally saying, take 10 steps and then you can rest. Then take 10 steps and then you can rest.
Wow.
Mantra.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I got to the aid station and there was nothing there.
Like they packed it up?
Mm-hmm.
Do you
So I
think at
kept
that
going.
point, if there was calories, do you think you might have been able to keep it down, or do you even?
Probably because I slowed down because I knew that I was
Okay.
gonna be, cut. And there was a car. It's kind of like a trailhead place, and there was a car there, and I went by it because it didn't. I mean, it was just a car. And as I started down the next section of trail, somebody yelled at me and said, "Are you Paige?" And I was like, "Yep. Are you here to get me?" And she said, "No. We already packed up and the car's full, so you're going to have to run to the next one to get a ride."
No.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that. Be like, can you give me? Were they able to give you anything from the car? Be like, yo, I need some calories and liquid.
She washed my face off with a baby wipe because I was crying at that point. And she gave me Tylenol because she looked at my bleeding, scraped up leg and hip, and I think she felt really bad, but I had to keep going.
I would have been like,
Yeah.
I'll just like hang on to the top, just drive slow.
I would have. Yes.
Oh,
How
Yeah.
far did you have to go to the next aid station?
About 7 miles with another mountain.
Was there anybody like behind you or with you at this point, or do you think you were the last?
I was last.
Okay.
The people behind me had already been cut at previous aid stations. And then I don't know what happened on the way to that next one. Maybe I was just so happy to know that I was going to be done. I actually passed 2 people on the way to our DNF station.
Okay.
Yeah, which, I mean, probably they were just like, whatever, I don't care at this point. But it kind of made me feel better.
So did then those two have to also go to the next aid station to get picked up?
Yeah, they were on the way to that next one.
so they made the cutoff? Or
I don't know
likely?
if they did or if they told them the
Okay.
same thing, like, you need to go to the next one.
I would be heartbroken if I was like, yes, I'm done. I get to go get driven back to the start line and then being told like, nope, you got 7 more miles and then you can go down the mountain.
Yeah.
What?
It'd
I
be
would've said-
different if you had calories in your body. If you had like if you had food to go, or like a bag of chips, like hit the road with these bag of chips or something. But doing all
Yeah,
that with
I
no
actually
calories.
had an Uncrustable with me,
Okay.
and I know that I ate a couple of bites of that. And I'm pretty sure it stayed down because after that last aid station, I slowed down so much. I wasn't in as bad of a shape.
So at that point,
But
you're
yeah.
just like, I
Mhm.
mean, you kind of knew your race was over, but you still had to fight for a few more miles.
Yes.
What
Yeah. But
mileage?
it shifted my mind a lot.
Okay.
I instead of being bummed about it, I was like, well, I'm just going to enjoy this section of the, trail. Because we turned off of the most horrible one onto a slightly better one
Okay.
that did have some switchbacks.
That's awesome to have an outlook like that in the midst of a DNF, because typically my DNFs, I'm all in my feels and I'm just a sad panda and everything sucks. And I don't want no one to talk to me. I don't want no one to comfort me. Just let me be sad. So for you to actually be like, well, I'm going to make the best of this experience and enjoy what's in front of me. That's after dead bugging it up a mountain. I think that's impressive.
It really was beautiful. And it is a beautiful trail.
So then, yeah,
Just-
with the stress off, you just get to enjoy. I've done that before.
Exactly.
Some races where we're just like, I don't know how far I'm going to get, but I'm just going to enjoy it until someone's like, come on, we're going to go down the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when I got picked up, the guy that had run to me when my leg first started cramping, he and his friend were in the car too. So they had gotten picked up before me somewhere. So it was nice to see them again.
So how far did you actually get? Like, what was your total mileage?
Maybe 30 miles.
Dude, that's a 50K out there.
It is. And I did the hardest part.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of people DNF'd if the car was full already.
I would, yes.
But yeah,
Yes.
Cruel Jewel's hard.
It is very hard.
I have one friend, he's finished, I think over 100, I think he's up to 130, 100-mile finishes now, Iron Will. And he says Cruel Jewel was the hardest 100-miler he's done. And so and he's done a lot. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. And when he said that, I was like, well, I'm not doing Cruel Jewel. Because it has to be an A race. It almost has to be an A race. You almost have to train for it. You have to get the elevation training in, the technical training in, make sure you're like well rested and like leading up to it. And this is coming from someone that never did it and that's scared of it. That's just what I'm assuming from everything I've heard about it.
I think you're spot on. So funny that you said that about being well rested, because my day actually started off in a bad place. So there's a field by the start finish line. It's where the 100s start and finish, where the 50 finishes, because they bus you to that start line. But I was sleeping in a field in my car, and there were people tenting around me to get up early and get on the bus. And I had locked my doors for some reason and forgotten about that. And I was in the back and opened the back side door, which set off my alarm at 4:00.
No.
Yes.
You're the asshole when we're camping.
It was me.
Ugh.
It was me. I'm here publicly stating it. And I had already packed my vest and put my key in it because I thought I'd be smart. And that's the only way to turn off the alarm. So I was like over the front seat, butt up in the air, digging through my vest, trying to find my key, waking everybody up.
Way to go,
Yeah.
Paige. Way to go.
That was me. That was me.
I
Sorry.
had a lot of DNFs where I was car camping the night before, but didn't realize how hot or cold it was. So at Dino Valley, the year I DNF'd that, it was freezing cold and I was sleeping in the back of my Jeep and I sleep better in the cold, but I didn't bring like enough blankets and I was like having like snot freezing in my nose. And I started the race with like a runny nose. And I was just so cold and shivering. And then last year at Bad Dog, I car camped and it was the opposite. It was so hot and I did a Jeep, I have a Jeep truck, and I did a truck bed tent. And I'm just laying in this tent and I'm just baking in this tent. I'm sweating nonstop. All the windows are open and everything. And so I started that race, which was a hot race. I started that race dehydrated. Yes. So did you have like your car on or was it just at least nice enough weather to where you could sleep?
It was actually fine. to
Okay.
sleep.
That's nice. So that's something to think about if you're going to go car camping before race. Check the forecast and know what temperature you sleep in, because it
Yes.
definitely saves money on a hotel, but it can also affect your race.
And
Maybe don't
and don't
lock your
lock your
doors.
doors. Yeah.
Lock your doors.
I don't even lock my car. Like when I go to like trail races, a lot of them are at a place where it's all trail runners there. My car will sit there with my keys in the cup holder for the whole entire however long I'm gone, unlocked. I mean, who's gonna break into your car? What are you gonna get? Some like smelly clothes and like a towel? Like that's all I have in my car. So I
Yeah.
get annoyed at the people that roll in and they have to press the lock button like 20 times on their fob. I don't even have a fob for my car. I still open my car with the
Me too.
door, and I you put there's a little button. Okay, this is gonna be my rant. There's a little button on the inside of your door that you could push that locks your car without making a beep. And so that's one of my peeves when I'm camping or car camping before a race, and I hear everybody rolling in and beep 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 locking their doors. I just that's
But now you know that's better than alarm at 4 o'clock.
yes, the alarm at 4 o'clock. I would have been finding you, and probably
Yes.
you probably would not have started your race. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that bad, but I would have been like, who's waking me up at 4 a.m? I had one more hour to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
4 a.m. It's time to get up and do your stretches. Come
Yeah,
on.
probably.
Stretching? You
Yeah.
have to stretch for these things.
Oh, never mind. Wrong podcast. We don't stretch here.
Tea coffee.
We do, yeah.
Yeah.
Start the coffee and the oatmeal or whatever you're eating for breakfast. Oatmeal cream pies.
After the DNF, after the dust settles and you kind of take everything in, was it the feeling that you need to get back there next year and do it again, or was it like I gave it a try and I'm good?
It was 100%. I am never doing that again.
But you meant it this time.
Actually did mean it. And I volunteer at that race every year. I sleep in my car with the door unlocked. And I love the race. It's a really amazing race, but I want no part of being a participant of it. I just did not have fun.
We've all said like I'm never doing that again, and then so that it's interesting to hear someone say that and actually mean it. It typically doesn't happen in our circles.
Yeah.
It's nice that you still go back every year to contribute to the race, still be a part of the race, just not doing the race. Like there's some races that I don't think I'll ever do, but I want to go and be a part of them and volunteer at. So that kind of
absolutely.
brings
And
it full circle.
I love volunteering at it. It's so much fun. I volunteer at the same aid station on Friday and Saturday. And the racers come through. They're like 3 miles in. They're in great shape. They're so happy and friendly and chatty. And then they do a little 5-mile loop and are back to us. They're looking maybe a little bit more tired. And then they head up the mountain. Coming back, they've got they get to us and they're like, oh, we have to do that loop. Like you can just see their broken spirit because they forgot it was there. And they'd come back and do the loop. And then I'm like, you just have 3 miles to the finish. And you can just see 3 miles is an eternity at that point. But I love seeing the same people at both ends of it. It's really cool.
So you get them at the beginning and the end. So it's the first aid station and the last aid station is the one you volunteer at?
Yeah.
That's a long shift. That's awesome.
I do. Well, it closes for a while because
break in the middle.
They've got a long way to go to get back to us. Yeah.
So does the aid station have a name so people know the party aid station?
It's Deep Gap.
Deep Gap. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you're doing Cruel Jewel, Deep Gap is the party aid station where Paige will be there and she'll fix you up.
Yeah. It is a good aid station. All of them are. Each of them is kind of a party. It's fun stuff. And there are a lot of people that love to volunteer at that race.
That might be one I'll look into volunteering at soon. That'll be fun. I think you can convince me.
Yeah. If you want to run it, I'll be happy to do whatever you need except be on the trail.
Maybe the 50. 8-miler, 50 with 8 bonus miles.
Yes. My story isn't quite over though.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
let's get into it.
So I got back to my car that night and it had rained and was very muddy. And that field that I was parked in was very slippery and people could not get out of there. They were sliding all around and there's a very narrow path to get out of the field back onto the like gravel road. And I went that way and my car just got stuck.
Oh,
And
no.
it was the only way out. And I was stuck in the middle of it.
Were there
And
other cars trying to get out too, or was it just you?
yes, people that had just finished the race
Oh.
were now stuck because my car was stuck.
No.
Was there someone with a Jeep with a tow rope?
Well, there was not. And we called AAA and they tried to comment. They couldn't even get their truck back to where we were. And we were laying all kinds of things under like cardboard and sticks and boards. There were tons of people at this point helping, trying to get my car out of the way. And somebody pushed it. It's an Expedition. It's not a small car. And they decided it was so slippery they could push it sideways and get it out of the way. So that is what happened. My car just moved sideways enough that people could kind of get around it if they went in the woods a little bit. But I have a friend, this was like 2:00 in the morning by now. My friend drove from Flowery Branch, Georgia, which is not close. It's like an hour and a half because her husband had a Jeep with the towing stuff. And she came and got me out. And then they got a few other people that were stuck out.
Okay, so at least you
and
weren't
then-
the only one that got stuck.
No, there were a lot of people stuck because if they had parked on the edge, it was a downhill and they couldn't get out of there. They were just, yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess and it was a very long day.
I would have gave up and just slept in my car that night and right there. Nope.
Yeah. Well, you know, the adrenaline hit again during all that. Like my hip actually, I was able to move around and stuff. But as soon as I got in my car, I was like, oh my God, I hurt. Yeah. Yeah, it was not my best day in many ways.
Man, wow, what a way to end the day.
Mhm. But my
Just happy-
sweet friend kept me on the phone my whole drive home because it was about an hour and a half drive home. In the middle of the night, she was like, just keep talking. Tell me about anything. Just you should know I wasn't falling asleep in the car.
That's a good friend.
A really good friend.
After doing that and not being able to take in calories, did you eat like you just finished a 100-miler afterwards?
So, Sarah does amazing food at her races, and she had like a burrito bar set up in the finish area. It was good, and I was hungry by then. So, yes, I ate a lot.
Okay, so the car ride home wasn't you starving. You actually got to eat before you
I
left.
did
That's
eat.
good.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
And then moved cars.
Yeah. Even when we
Powered by
DNF, we think about the
burritos.
food.
Buy burritos.
Yes. And I'll just plug this for anyone that's curious. She always has vegan food at her races because she is vegan. So it's nice. She always has that alternative for you.
Heck yeah.
I wonder if that's rare. I know I've done races in Arizona, and there's a lot of like vegan options there. I never really thought much of that on the East Coast. But I haven't been out to the East Coast much either, so I don't know if that's a rarity out there, or if that's more common.
I wouldn't say it's super common.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
I think that was slowly starting to become like more of a thing. Like, I mean, just one year to the next, someone's like, "Oh, I couldn't eat a lot at the aid stations," and then the next year, like that race completely changes or has a better option. And I've even done volunteer for Tejas Trails a lot, and they have like a whole like just very sanitary, like one section of the table. It's all gluten free stuff too, because there's a lot of celiac runners out there that can't
Right.
eat gluten. So that's always nice that the different race companies are starting to be more inclusive to different dietary needs.
It is really nice. Yeah.
Interesting. I haven't seen that yet. Or maybe there is that in Oklahoma, but I'm just such a fat kid going for like the pulled pork baked burrito that I don't notice
Justin
the
is
vegan
just over here
options.
looking for bacon at every single aid station.
Everything. Well, and they know too. When I walk in, they're like, bacon, get the bacon. So, I mean, maybe there are vegan options in Oklahoma, but I'm just so
You don't
cued in
pay
on the meats. I have
attention.
no idea. So I apologized if I did a disservice to any Oklahoma races out there. Maybe you have your options out there, but keep the pulled pork coming, please.
Bacon wrapped
So,
Oreos.
yes. So for Cruel Jewel, I think it's an amazing race, and I don't want someone to listen to this podcast and think like, well, I'm definitely not doing that race. So now that you've talked about your experience and I talked about how I'm a little bitch and I'm too scared to do Cruel Jewel, how would you encourage someone out there who's on the fence that might want to do Cruel Jewel? How can you talk them into signing up for it?
First of all, you're not going to get a race with like the support at this race is amazing. The aid stations, the race director, like it's really, really well done. It's very well marked. Um, it's just a lot of climbing. So if you train that climbing and you train on that type of climbing, you'll be fine. They just don't throw up.
Yes. Keep your food down. Deal with the
Yes.
heat. Do you think like the nausea and stuff may have been just because you live in Georgia, you're used to the heat. Maybe it was a combination of the climbing and the heat that kind of
I felt overheated.
Have you done a race like with those similar circumstances? Because you said you haven't had that experience since, but with that combination, maybe that was what caused all that.
Yes, I definitely have, but no, not with that amount of climbing.
Okay, so maybe it was a combination, and maybe your 4 a.m. startle awake.
Yeah, all of it.
Everything, just the dominoes.
Yep. Yeah.
I want to shift over to these adventure races because you are a fellow trash panda, and we had Lisa talking about Vol State and how I love a 100-miler, but 314 sounds crazy. And I feel that I think about you guys the way normal people probably think about me. So what other adventure races have you done, or would you suggest, or what really gets you into the adventure races?
Well, Vol State was my first one,
Okay.
and I was hooked. I remember being back home a few weeks later and just saying, I'm really craving being back out there. And I don't know if there's any possible way to explain that if you haven't done it. It's just a chunk of time, like more than a day or two, where you just literally all of your life except for that it doesn't matter. Like it is very much a where am I going to eat? Where am I going to sleep? How am I going to meet my needs? It doesn't matter if your electric bill is due or if your kid needs a permission slip signed. Like those just don't matter for that week or however long it is.
Yep. I was literally just talking about this last night at one of my run clubs that this week, especially the post-race blues for that race just hits hard and fast. And like, yeah, for those 7 to 10 days or however long it takes you, yeah, your only responsibility is yourself and how you're going to take care of yourself, how you're going to get to the next town and where you're going to eat and sleep. You don't have to worry about anything else. I had no clue about, I don't know, I think it was like 3 days of seeing flags at half staff in different towns that we finally Googled, like who died? And they died like we're just so disconnected from everything. And it was really cool to just kind of not have to worry about anything else going on in the whole entire world.
And Cruel Jewel Vol State is especially, it just really stands out because people know about that race. And there is such a feeling of being taken care of by people along that course. And that drive down that course to check on you, I can't even explain it. Like, I had no idea people were actually still that nice.
Definitely.
It's refreshing.
Brings
Very much.
restores your faith in humanity and that there's still kindness out there and people with just pure hearts who just are there that just want to help somebody out of just with nothing to get nothing in return. They just want to help you.
Yes.
Yeah, hearing you guys talk about Vol State makes me think of some of the guys I've talked to before that were like so excited. It's going to be hunting season. I want to go out in the woods. And it's not like they're like, yeah, I'm ready for murder, but they really want that feeling that you guys get for 9 days walking across Tennessee, where it's just one step in front of the other, surviving, not having any of the distractions in the world, even though you guys have the world going on around you. And really that disconnect, I think that's kind of like a reset button for a lot of people, that people need to find whatever that is for them. I feel like I see it in 100 milers, but I definitely know it's probably much more intensified if you're doing like a 9-day journey.
Like you finish a 100-miler and you're like, wow, I did something. I mean, 100-milers are phenomenal to finish. You get that runner's high. You're like, man, I did that. Like I never could have met, like 100 miles is far. But after a journey race, you just look at life differently. I feel like you're out there, you're on a journey searching for something. A lot of times you find it during it. A lot of times you're like, okay, let me sign up for one more or two more or three more to kind of still figure out life. But you just look at life so differently after doing one of these. Like you just did.
And it's slower.
Like that one is a really interesting one as well.
Which one?
Coast to Coaster in Ohio. How was that?
It's shorter. It's 230 miles, but it's much harder because it was only the second year of that course and 29 participants. So people don't know that it's going on necessarily. There's no like road angels at all.
You're really like on your own, like
you are on your own, and there are long stretches of nothing. We did have one road angel. This guy ran out of his house with bottles of water, and he was like, I saw one of you this morning and I've been waiting for someone else to come by. So that gives you an idea how far apart we are. And he gave us bottles of water and we were so grateful. And it was nice to see a person. And then we were in such a remote area that we had these water bottles for hours, like till the next morning. There was not even a trash can.
Wow.
Yeah. So we had like rumpled them up and stuck them in our belts.
Did you see Amish people out there?
We did, yeah.
Nice.
The first 2 days were through like Amish and Mennonite areas. Yeah. There's actually an Amish market. If you're fast enough to make it, it closes at 5 p.m. So I was not fast enough, but my friend Ashley, well, she missed it by 5 minutes, but they called and the store said, yeah, just let us know when you get here and we'll let you in.
Nice.
Which was so nice. And she got a bag of drinks and food for us and hid it in a bush. And so we went in the middle of the night going through bushes to find our bag. But it was like a 40-mile stretch of literally nothing available. So she really saved us.
I was born in Ohio, so that's exactly what I was thinking of. Oh man, if I could do an adventure race across Ohio, but stop and get like an Amish pie.
Yes. Oh, at 4 a.m., I can't even tell you what town this was, but we were in a questionable gas station. But they had just brought in Amish donuts, and they just put them in big boxes on like a card table, and you just get your donut out, and it was the best thing I've ever had.
Sounds
so good.
magical.
It really
4 a.m.
was.
Amish donut. Like I'm gonna add that to my bucket list.
Yeah. It was funny. At 4:30, we had asked the guy if it was okay to sit in there for a little while. And at 4:30, he was like, y'all might want to get on your way. It starts getting kind of crazy in here about now. We're like, really? 4:30? And I'm not kidding you. Like half the town showed up. I don't know. I have no idea. I was just like, what?
Is there like an illegal like gambling in the back? There might have been. That might have been it. There could have been.
Literally have no idea. It was really crazy though.
Lisa wants to go and she wants to stay to find out what happens at 4:30 in the morning. I think that's what I'm seeing.
Do it.
Okay.
Maybe there's like some crazy coffee and they're like, they have to have that coffee. That's interesting. What is popping off at 4:30 in the morning at this little town in Ohio?
I do not know. Maybe they all want the donuts.
It is the donuts.
Yeah.
They're laced with
What's
It's
the
worth
difference
it.
between a regular donut and an Amish donut?
Yeah.
Oh, you said, what's the difference, Nicole?
Yeah.
I don't know. Made by Amish people with love.
Yeah.
made with love.
I would have
Unreal ingredients.
real ingredients, fresh off their farm. So if it's like a blueberry donut, I'm sure they picked the blueberries and fresh baked in their oven, I would assume. I don't
It
know.
was
I'm
delicious.
giving you bro science right now. But I know we would go to like Amish diners and it would all be fresh. And, it's just stuff off their farm that they take to the diners. And it's really, really good, really fresh.
Farm to table. Those are the best kind of restaurants.
And I wonder if the Amish use like pesticides and stuff or if it's pesticide free. So that could be something too. I don't know. Just going to keep on doing some bro science until something makes sense. And there's only one way to find out, and that's to go eat an Amish donut.
Well, come do Coast to Coaster.
Are there adventure races you do every year?
I've signed up for that one again.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. It wasn't so hot. Actually, it was very cold for a few days. I'm just happier when it's not super hot. Yeah.
We all know about that at Ball State.
Yeah, Ball State's really hot.
You might have to get rescued.
Yeah. Somebody might come down a hill with some watermelon for me.
Yeah, we had to go. Mike and I went and rescued Paige during Ball State last year. Brought her to the fire station because there's some ladies that stopped by. There's a woman that's struggling back there. I think she's in a ditch.
Gosh.
It was in a ditch
Moron.
because there was a tree and like this much of shadow. So I was trying to cool off in the shadow in the ditch.
In the sliver of a tree.
Yes.
Yeah, shadow. You gotta
That's how desperate I was.
You gotta find the shade wherever you can.
You sure do.
Lisa, we need to get back to the original plan of the episode, and that is towards the end, you ask a certain question.
Yes. Okay. So when you are in your feels or needing to get like hyped up to move on, what is your like go-to like song?
Oh, it's called I'm a Beast.
Beast. Who sings that?
Yes. Rob Bailey and the Hustle Standard.
Is this like R&B style or is this
No.
Beast.
okay?
Nice.
All right.
We're a bunch of emo metalcore kids, so yeah, that's I might have to throw that into our playlist.
It's a good one. It's a good move your ass song.
Justin likes Taylor Swift.
Favorite.
He's definitely not that.
No, I'm just kidding. I tortured him with T Swift one time. The first time we hung out for 60 miles.
I go to a race to experience new things, and I never expect the new things to be listening to Taylor Swift, but there we were.
There we were, in the middle of the night.
I'm a changed man. I'm Swiftie now.
Oh.
I still didn't know any of her songs.
I have some emo covers of T Swift that we'll play next time.
Okay.
Okay. Done.
That's like it's like pump goes pop. Like emo, Swift just has that big enough catalog now to where like emo bands are like doing full on Swift covers. Interesting.
Oh.
I bet they're really good.
They're really good. I'm going to have a whole playlist of nothing but Taylor Swift covers just for you.
And you know she will.
She will.
It's
She will.
It is happening. All right. So, wind down with, so at the end of every episode, I'm sure you've listened to some, we do lessons learned. So is Paige, do you want to kick off any lessons learned from Cruel Jewel?
Yes, I would say respect a course. If you've heard it's hard, find out why.
Nicole?
Mine would be to not set off a car alarm at 4 a.m. when other runners are sleeping.
Good one.
And if there are omens along the way, you're probably going to get stuck in the mud.
Or maybe just because your friend's a race director doesn't mean you should do their races. or do a little more research before you just sign up. But that's really not our what
No.
we do. We sign up and then research later.
Yeah, so many times on this podcast, I signed up for a race. Oh, what's the cutoff? Oh, I don't know. I should probably check that out. So my lessons learned, I'm going to do this for Lisa so she doesn't jump through the computer and slap people. When you're locking your door, use the button on the inside of your door instead of your key fob. That way it does not make a loud sound disturbing others. Also, if I ever do get the balls to sign up for Cruel Jewel, I will need to go out on the trails and lay on my stomach and work on my dead bug climbing in case I'm in that position, because that did not sound pleasant. But I think if you get some good core work in and have some calories, then I might be able to pull that off. But I need to be prepared. So I think if I'm going to do Cruel Jewel, I need to practice that. And race directors, 2 things that race directors should take away from this episode: have someone with a Jeep at the finish line if you're going to have people park in a field. And finally, get some damn Amish donuts at these races.
We demand the donuts.
We demand
Yes.
not only donuts, but Amish donuts with fresh
Amish.
ingredients.
Fly them in. Just fly them in.
Yeah. I'm sure they'd
Yeah.
love to get on an airplane.
All right. And that will wrap it up for this episode of Fails on the Trails. Until next time, listen to the song I'm a Beast and find yourself some Amish donuts. Bye, everybody.